Hey guys, it's Claudia Riley, and I'm going to take you guys on a little journey, letting you know who I am and what I'm about. So get ready. On this platform of mine, guests will appear with me from time to time, and they will share things that are important to themselves, and I will converse with them, and we will discuss those issues and bring light to what needs to be brought light. And also, they will be bringing a piece of their personal life and some information about who they are, where they come from, and kind of like what I'm doing now, but in a smaller version. A lot of people have questions like, Claudia, why are you doing this? Why are you doing what you're doing? Well, the truth is, all I know how to do is be myself. Yes, I've gained a lot of knowledge along the way, but truly, I've hit so many walls and so many difficulties in my life of becoming the femme fatale you see before you now. I hold myself in first place now, but prior to this, I was not that person. I was one of the many deplorables in the world. I was society's, funk, if you will, literally. I was in a corrupt, crazy childhood. I was kidnapped when I was 2. My mother was almost killed by my father when I was 5. I went to live with relatives. My brother did the same. And then, it was just a trickle downhill since then until the last 4 years. And I've really got on my feet. And that was after, I came out as trans after high school. And then I told my family, and they were not very pleased about it. And they didn't know how to deal with it. They really didn't know what they were going to do with it. So they didn't know how to respect it in that term. So then I was left with a choice. Do I stay here and get disrespected, or do I leave and go out on my own and find my own way like everyone does? And so I did that, and I ended up getting into prostitution. I ended up getting into drugs, because when you see prostitution, drugs and prostitution are one and the same. Where there are drugs, there's prostitution. Where there's prostitution, there's drugs. And so I ended up down that rabbit hole. And I ended up going to prison. But in the meantime, joining prostitution, like I was being initiated into a gang or something. But joining prostitution as my career, because there were limited resources for trans people. So I didn't have anywhere else to go. So I had to find some way to make money, make a living. I had no support, and those are some issues that I'll be bringing light to, because I think these are very important things, that it is now a time to know how, not just know, but know how to get through these issues and get on to a better life for everyone, because trans people are not going anywhere, and I'm here to represent that fully. So as a trans person that didn't have anywhere to go for employment, and turning to prostitution and being on the streets, and then using drugs and becoming a drug dealer at some times, and not bragging about that, but that's the life of a trans person, probably 85-90% of the time. And the thing is, we're not given a chance in this life. We're not given a chance in this time. And now I'm standing here, made it through all of my fire. Because after drugs and prostitution came prison. Yes, you guessed it. I went to prison, head shaved, got out of prison. I was living in Florida because, remember, my family and I just didn't really mesh too well. And we were communicating and things at this time, but it really was, I was on my journey to find myself, and I was alone in this journey, really. And so when I came back out of prison and I was in Florida, I ended up at a Super 8 motel. My best friend brought me a wig because my head was shaved. Imagine me with a shaved head. I'm sure you'll see mugshots. They're everywhere. I really don't care, because I can only speak my truth. So people's opinion about me is none of my business. And I recommend that to anyone who's having trouble living their life. People's opinion about you is none of your business. Your truths align with God's truths, okay? Your perceptions about yourself align with God's perceptions and truths about you. So that's it. You got to put God first. Put him by your side, and you can conquer anything. God will make your enemy your footstool. I'm proof of that. Okay? And I'm not putting anyone down. I'm just saying we all have to hold ourselves in the first place position. And that's what I do now, and that's why I'm successful. That's why I have made the moves that I've made recently. That's why I'm doing the things I'm doing, because I finally let go of my paradigms and fears, and I have moved on to a higher consciousness just by gaining knowledge. And I've never even read a book from front to back. So let that be inspiration for you. Let that be inspiration for you to share with others. Share me with others that need inspiration, because that is all I'm here to do. That's the ground foundation of who I am and what I live for, because all I can do is be me. And being me is enough. And I want everyone else to know that. Because if I can cross into greatness, anyone can. So, getting back to the story, after prostitution, after prison, getting out, Super 8 motel, best friend brings me a wig, slap it on, back to turning tricks. Back into prostitution, because I had now had a felony record with a drug charge and a solicitation of sex charge, and I had nowhere to go. Nowhere. And in Florida, resources are limited for trans people back then, so it's, this is 2013. So it was really difficult. So I get out of prison, hotel, wig, all that, back to turning tricks. Here come the drugs. I overdosed on heroin. Luckily, I was with someone that saved my life. That someone brought me to Ohio, back to my family, because I felt that was the only place I had to go. So I returned, and then I got back to the farm in southeastern Ohio, where there are no stoplights in the town I'm from. It's predominantly white and very racist where I come from, and I don't mean that in a bad way, I mean that in the truth. There's a lot of towns like that all over this world, and so we have to bring light to issues, speak through our truths, and bring other people courage to stand up, be themselves, and move on with their lives, because too many people are trapped in paradigms of fear. It's horrible. You're living in a reality where you can't live, you can't grow, you can't be yourself, you can't speak your truth, and that's terrifying. And I know what that feels like, and that's why I'm making the moves I'm making so close to where I was. Okay? It may have only been 3 and 4 years ago, but I'm here doing this now because I remember the heartache, I remember the pain, and I remember the suffering. I remember when I had to go replace my teeth because I lost them to crack and meth. I remember. Okay? This is not something I'm just trying to get followers. No, I'm here to inspire, and that is it. I'm here to inspire, and that is it. I'm here to give people a better life through giving them the love they need to find love for themselves. We can't change anyone, but we can influence people through the way that we live our lives and through the way we lead by example. We all know this. And I don't think there are too many, let me rephrase, I don't think there are enough trans people on the front line saying, I've been through all this shit that you're going through, but, I made it out, and so can you, and I'm here to help. Call out to me. I have resources. And so coming back to Ohio literally was a godsend. It literally was a godsend. I came back to Ohio and got back to my roots, okay? And so I felt myself with this urge to know a different sense of myself, a spiritual sense. I wanted to know what God was to me, what God meant to me, and why God wasn't reaching out to me. And so I went on this little spiritual journey, if you will, and I started searching and doing my research and looking into spirituality and God and what is God and who calls God this, who calls God that, who believes in God and who doesn't. Why is God in so many different books and things? Well, the truth is I found, the answer, and it was myself. It was believing in myself first. It was bringing a center back to myself, aligning myself with my truths and bearing through all of my pain and getting to the other side where I could see my glory. That was how I found God. And I believe it's possible for anyone, because I didn't think I was ever going to make it out of where I was. And that's the God's honest truth. I thought I would die. But I didn't. And that's the glory behind it all. I'm here. I'm making a difference, and I will not stop. Because even if I just save one life, that's enough for me. Alright guys, well, I think that's enough drama for one day. Now you guys know a little bit about me, and you know a little bit about where I'm from and where I'm going. So I encourage you to keep following me, tell your friends and family and people in need of inspiration, because that's all I do. I live, eat, and breathe inspiration every day. I have rewired my brain, literally. I know how emotions are a choice now. I don't have to live in fear or hate or hating myself. I can love myself fully now, and I want everyone else to do the same. Okay, so click the subscribe button and make sure you hit the notifications, because I will be posting daily and my videos are always positive. I will never have any negative connotation to anything I do. I'm here to spread love, joy, happiness, and bliss to get more people to cross into their greatness with me, because it's just a quantum leap recovery away. I love you guys. I hope to see you soon. Check me out on Twitter, Claudia Riley 20, and check me out on Instagram, Quantum Leap Recovery, YouTube, you're on there now, and Facebook under Claudia Riley. I love you guys, and stay blessed, okay?